Hi guys, what's up? LikeSS5 here. Apologies in advance, I forgot to record the first part of the video, so I'm already taping, so let's dive right in. Alright, so for the taping part, I got my friend to help me with some trash bags. You can get newspaper if you want. Plastic dip is not too thick, so he got to help me with the taping part. It's a lot easier with two people, but you can just be alone, it should be fine. Alright, once you taped everywhere, the last thing that I'm going to show you guys is the angles here to tape it. So the first thing you do is whenever you're here, you stay with some pressure here and you just put your finger in between the little space that there is, like that. And now I'm just gonna take a little flat screwdriver, and everywhere in between here, it's not supposed to touch anywhere with the trim. So now I'm gonna tape it again, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. All right, now once the grill is taped, you get a rag, you get some soapy water, and you try to clean every single angle that you can. Make sure that there's absolutely no water in between the trims, because water is gonna make the plastic dip not adhere, so you really need it to stick. And the first coat is gonna be the most important, so if there's any water, it's gonna mess everything up. All right guys, sorry for the coronavirus haircut. So now the thing is, I wanna get some rubbing alcohol, so you can get some 50. That's better than 70 or 90, it's a little bit too strong. But the thing is, right now I cannot find any rubbing alcohol anywhere. So acetone, like I said in one of our previous video, I don't recommend it on paint. But on a trim like that, and the chrome trim, it's gonna be fine if I just barely mist it on. It's better than nothing. So I already cleaned all of that with soapy water. Now the only thing I have left is to clean that with the acetone, and then I'm gonna be ready to spray. Once you're done cleaning, just make sure that your tape and the lines are exactly like they were before, because if they start to lift off, then you're gonna have an issue whenever you're removing the tape, and the dip is gonna come off with it. So now the can is warm. You're gonna just do a couple of spray tests so you can see if the pattern is good. So it should look something like that. It's kind of like a finger of length. That means the can that's spraying pretty nice. So, okay, see, slow. Barely anything. Two. See, now on the fifth coat, I'm gonna apply a much heavier one. This was already from the comb trim before. I mean, if you want to get rid of that, you can sand it, but then you have to, all the chips, you know, from the chrome, you're gonna have to take it off the bumper and the grill, and it's gonna be really complicated to do. For now, we black this out. You're probably wondering why. It's because in between the spaces that you can see here, all around the emblem, you can just scratch in the middle and take it out. So this is gonna be simple to just unblast the dip. You know, you're just gonna peel it off and it's gonna be simple. So probably maybe two more coats or one, it depends, because right now it's looking pretty good. But with plastic dip, you should always go maybe 1 or 2 coats above when it looks good, like around 5 or 6, especially for that. So whenever you want to take it off, you take it off, but my friend will probably leave it black for a while. So it's gonna be just better just to apply a couple more coats so it's easier to remove. Alright, now is the fifth. I'm gonna be applying something a lot heavier, so I'm gonna put my mask. I have a 3M mask home, but now we're not home, so I'm just gonna do it with that. We're outside anyway, it's a well ventilated area, so it should be all good. And now I'm gonna apply my fifth. So same thing, make sure that sometimes, you know, it gets all dirty in there and the plastic dip just starts to like dry. And then when you spray, you have an uneven pattern. So what you're gonna do is just maybe clean it off here, clean up the tip, take it again. Make sure you have an even spraying pattern. This looks good. And let's go for the fifth one. Alright, so on the last coat, while it's wet, you're gonna untape. Make sure that you're doing this while it's wet. So right now, it's drying really fast and we're outside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray a really thick coat around here, all around the edges, and I'm gonna start peeling off already. And since we're two people, it's gonna be a lot easier. If you're alone, just do it a step at a time if you're outside, because it's gonna dry a lot faster. This is my tip. Often you're gonna do that indoor and you have time to remove everything at the same time. But then once you're outdoor, it's gonna take a lot less time for the plastic dip to dry, and you're gonna be stuck. For example, like you take half of this off, and then here, the time that you did that, this is gonna be already dry. So the problem is now the plastic dip is gonna go off with it, even though it's not necessarily touching, or maybe just a little bit, because sometimes it's not completely perfect. And that's the problem with that. So just make sure it's all wet.
Alright, so for the intapping process, this is what I said. You just make sure the area is wet and you peel it off progressively.
Alright, so what you want to do is just maybe get an edge here. If you have your nail and you can do it, just it's fine with your nails. And then with this little screwdriver, flat screwdriver, I can get inside and try to peel off without touching.